Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Path of Exile. Very exciting day. Just got off work. I've been waiting all day to watch this. So I thought, let's watch it together. Path of Exile, Grinding Gear Games has given us the Scourge League livestream. And this is literally 30 minutes long. Are we gonna watch all of it? Likely. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this.
The day the demons found our world, the innocent were first to die.
That's very dark. Very dark. Very, very dark.
They approach your world, your Wraeclast. You must take the fight to them. Embrace the power of chaos.
What the heck is that?
Become more than mortal. Face the nightmare.
Tornado.
They are ravenous. They are endless. They are the Scourge.
Okay, let's pause right there for a second. Okay. One, great job on the trailer. It looks awesome. I have tons of questions. Okay. Maybe going after D2R a little bit. Obviously, we don't have D4, but D2R, very dark, very gritty. These shadowy monsters you have to fight. That's what I see. A competitor with the Scourge League. Okay. Let's continue. What is that? What's going on?
The Path of Exile Scourge expansion contains a lot of new content and features that we'll reveal to you today. Let's start with its namesake, the Scourge Challenge League. Upon leaving Lion Eye's watch, you're startled by a figure appearing out of nowhere, trying to escape from something you can't see. She hands you a rusty-looking device called the Blood Crucible and urges you to implant it into your body. As you play through each area in the Scourge Challenge League, the Blood Crucible fills with the blood spilled by monsters you have slain. Once it reaches a certain threshold, you're able to activate the device. This will instantly thrust you into a parallel reality, an alternate Wraeclast where some form of apocalyptic event is occurring. This Wraeclast is overrun by demons known as the Scourge. They're powerful, dangerous, and come in many forms. The more blood you have collected, the longer you can stay shifted into the parallel Wraeclast. But the longer you stay, the more damage you'll take. When the Crucible's blood runs out or you choose to shift back, you are instantly returned to your original location in our Wraeclast to continue your journey. So why enter an alternate reality to fight a horde of ravenous demons? The answer to that question is exactly what you expect from Path of Exile. You're not there to save the world, you're there to find cool items. You can put an item inside the Blood Crucible. While you are killing the Scourge, it absorbs corruption from the alternate Wraeclast and focuses it onto the item. After enough kills, your item is ready to transform. When it does, it becomes corrupted and gains a pair of Scourged modifiers. One of these is a beneficial mod and one is a detrimental mod. These Scourged mods are in addition to the regular explicit and implicit mods or enchantments on the item. There are many powerful beneficial mods available that can really improve your item. The detrimental mods can significantly raise the requirements of the item, penalize your character's stats such as resistances, or outright turn off various mechanics like the ability to deal fire damage or gain charges.
Interesting.
The goal of the transformation process is to get a beneficial mod that makes your item a lot more powerful, while also rolling a detrimental mod that doesn't hurt your build much or at all. But if you get a combination you're unhappy with, then your item is not ruined. By putting it back in the Blood Crucible and killing even more monsters in the alternate Wraeclast, you can transform it a second time, potentially getting a better pair of mods that overwrite the first. Equipment can be transformed up to 3 times, and each time it guarantees a minimum tier of beneficial and detrimental mods equal to the number of times it has been transformed. By the 3rd tier, you can start to get some very powerful effects.
Interesting. So you find an item that you want to put in and corrupt it. By tier 3, if you haven't gotten what you've wanted, you move on to the next item. But you get 3 chances. And on tier 3, you are going to get the best possible modifiers. You still got to deal with that one negative modifier, which obviously you hope doesn't hurt your build at all. Little bit of luck involved, but I see where they're going. 3 options. Very cool. Continue.
The Blood Crucible works on already corrupted items, so it's possible to add Scourge mods to items that you thought couldn't be improved any further. Talking about corrupted items, you're going to need a way to modify
you can now modify corrupted items.
While in the alternate Wraeclast, you can find tainted chromatic orbs, tainted jeweler's orbs, and tainted orbs of fusing, which work exactly the same as their regular counterparts but can only be used on corrupted items.
And to hold all this, you're going to need some stash tabs.
Tainted orbs provide a significantly easier and cheaper way of modifying the sockets on your corrupted items than the crafting bench does. While it's obvious that Scourged items can be among Path of Exile's most powerful endgame equipment, it's worth considering the huge impact that good Scourge modifiers can have on your run through the campaign. In our testing, we often manage to Scourge items that are far more powerful than leveling uniques. As you slay the Scourge and other monsters while shifted, the Blood Crucible gains experience and can level up. You can allocate its skill points in its own passive skill screen, which allows it to specialize in many aspects such as unlocking additional item slots, faster item transformation, better transformation outcomes, the ability to transform unique items, and so on. It's possible to eventually allocate every single one of the Blood Crucible skills, but it requires a lot of demon slaying. Scourge's endgame is one where you control the level of risk and reward.
Here we go.
As we like to say in the business, it has a lot of player agency. Once you're exploring the Atlas of Worlds, you may gain the ability to place maps in the Blood Crucible alongside your equipment. When a map absorbs enough corruption and transforms, it gains a beneficial and detrimental effect in the same way that a piece of equipment does, but can also gain a modifier that changes the behavior of Scourge League in that map entirely. After all, when you combine 2 types of alternate realities together, the results are bound to be unpredictable. Maps can be transformed up to 10 times, increasing their risk and reward substantially each time. When a map is transformed a second or subsequent time, there's a chance that the new beneficial or detrimental modifiers stack alongside the existing ones, enhancing their power, or a chance that new modifiers are added. Be careful not to transform your maps too many times, of course, as they may become too dangerous to complete.
Ah, the way to push.
Path of Exile Scourge introduces 6 new unique items, of which 3 have been added to the core drop pool and 3 can be found in specific aspirational content that we'll reveal later in the livestream.
All right, new uniques. Here we go.
Ulnatol's Vow is an amulet that effectively enables you to turn any 6-linked body armor into a 7-link. Support gems you socket into this amulet apply to skills in your body armor. While specific mods on items have allowed players to create 7-link skills in the past, this amulet lets you choose whatever support gem you want, including corrupted or awakened ones. It's only possible to find this unique item in specific content that we'll reveal later in the livestream.
Did you catch that? 7-link body armor, but you get to pick the support gem for the 7th link.
The new Mageblood belt is one of the most powerful unique items to ever exist in Path of Exile. It permanently enables a number of your utility flasks, providing their benefits constantly with no work required on your part.
What?
This belt means that regardless of what your build is, you'll sustain your utility flasks during 100% of gameplay, even long boss fights. Mage Blood is in the core drop pool and is exceptionally rare.
Wow.
Early next year, we will release a huge overhaul of Path of Exile's Atlas of Worlds endgame in the 3.17 expansion. In the meantime though, our October Scourge expansion introduces a bunch of changes that speed up how quickly you can set up and progress through your Atlas. We're also introducing more types of ultra-challenging endgame content for top players who want to put their best characters to the test. In order to substantially shorten the length of the Atlas grind, we have reduced the number of regions from 8 to 4. This implicitly reduces the number of watchstones required from 32 to 16. We have also reduced the number of maps on the Atlas, so it's now approximately 100 plus the unique maps. We've rebalanced the bonuses for completing content so that by the time your Atlas is fully unlocked, you'll receive a slightly higher level of benefit than you did before. Because the number of regions has been halved, so have the number of Atlas passive trees. There are now 4 plus the Uncharted Realms. We've made each tree slightly larger and removed some less frequently used or duplicated skills. You'll still be awarded the same number of Atlas passive skill points as before. With these changes, each map you play constitutes far more progress than it previously did. About half as much work is now required to reach Path of Exile's ultimate endgame.
Wow. That's good.
We've made some other changes to streamline the endgame also. For example, now when you unveil a modifier, all tiers of that modifier are immediately unlocked at the crafting bench. This applies to every veiled modifier, including the very rare ones. Many of Path of Exile's past leagues have an endgame component that is designed to challenge the best players with the best builds. Over time, more and more of Path of Exile's experienced players have managed to defeat the game's hardest content. Our most difficult endgame content doesn't pose as much of a challenge as it once did. In the Scourge expansion, we have added a set of new aspirational content, uber versions of Breach, Blight, Legion, an extension to Delirium's Simulacrum, and a revamp of Delve.
They're changing them every single league,
Breach's
though.
endgame involves running Breach Stones, which can be placed in the map device to open portals to a Breach Lord's domain. For each Breach Lord, there are currently 4 tiers of Breach Stones, and you can upgrade between them using blessings. Path of Exile Scourge introduces a new tier, Flawless Breach Stones. These can't be obtained via blessings, but are instead found in the Maven encounters where you fight the Breach Lords in their most challenging forms. These Flawless Breach Stones require a substantially more powerful character to complete, but have rewards appropriate for their difficulty. Existing Breach Stones now have 2 random modifiers, from a pool that doesn't include build disabling ones, such as not being able to leech, and the new Flawless Breach Stones have 4 of these modifiers, which represents a significant jump in difficulty. They can drop special versions of the Grasping Male body armor, which has a specific fractured modifier themed around the Breach Lord of that domain. The Ulnatol's Vow unique amulet we revealed earlier can only be obtained through Flawless Breach Stones. All Breach Stones have been modified so that the items you earn from monsters are now dropped in a spiral at your feet when you complete or fail the event. In addition, rare monsters and Breach domains drop an additional random reward types such as scarabs, maps, or divination cards, with Flawless Breach Stones adding 2 additional reward types. All Breach Stones are far more rewarding than before. Blighted maps were previously our pinnacle Blight content and could be anointed up to 3 times to increase their difficulty and rewards. In the Scourge expansion, while you're playing Blighted maps, you may find a Blight Ravaged map. These have increased monster difficulty and are always monster level 85. They can be anointed up to 9 times with up to 3 of any one type of anointment. These incredibly challenging encounters can also yield one of Scourge's powerful new unique items. In Legion, you can combine up to 5 timeless emblems to enter the domain of timeless conflict. While playing the domain in this expansion, you can find unrelenting emblems, which can be mixed and matched with timeless emblems for a substantially more challenging and rewarding encounter. Delirium's Simulacrum encounter has been extended, with 10 additional waves of combat. As you can expect, these extremely difficult extra waves are very rewarding and feature escalating chances for a Delirium boss to spawn. With each wave you play, the Simulacrum now has increasing chances of dropping Cluster Jewels and past wave 20 Delirium unique items. Previously, you could only get a maximum of 1 Delirium unique item per Simulacrum, but now you can walk out with multiple high-value items such as Voices. Simulacrums not only represent a lot more value now, but also an opportunity to truly test your character against some of Path of Exile's hardest content. In addition, Delirium Orbs are now a lot more common, and Delirium's rewards have been improved, due to less popular ones like Prophecy and Talisman being removed entirely. We've made quite a few changes to Delve in the Scourge expansion. The first change is that we have completely rebalanced the entire thing so it's just more rewarding and more challenging at earlier depths. In general, monsters scale
Always
with more
my
life but less
favorite.
damage than before. We've improved monster skills and biomodifiers to make deeper depths more challenging to go with their better rewards. Due to these changes, we've wiped the standard Delve ladders but have retained your previous depth on your characters. To get back on the ladder, just play at whatever depth you were still able to complete. We've also improved the Delve catch-up mechanic. Previously, if you entered Delve for the first time at level 90, you'd be taken to a depth that is the equivalent of Tier 1 maps. Now we'll be taken to the equivalent of Tier 13 maps. This means that if you want, you can essentially ignore Delve until the late game rather than having to play as you go. We've increased the base sulfite cap from 600 to 1200. Underground cities are now more common and you'll encounter bosses more often, including all.
That's really nice.
You can rarely find fractured items with Delve modifiers on them. We've also increased fossil and resonator availability throughout the Azurite mine. Fossil availability outside of Delve has been reduced. All resonators dropped are now chaotic resonators, with alchemical resonators not dropping anymore. We've also improved the least powerful fossils.
Okay, stopping it right there. I'm excited for this league. Last two leagues, I wasn't excited. They look fine. I'm sure they'll be good, but it didn't resonate. Perfect time to stop with me. And I know people are going to hate that I am saying this feels like the Diablo League, right? Oh, screw Diablo, screw Blizzard. I know. I'm just simply making a comparison to D2R, to Diablo's deep roots in the darkness. And that's what this league, these bosses feel like. Dark, gloomy, can't really see them enemies. And don't think they're not looking at those numbers of how many people are playing D2R. Reel them. You got to reel them back to PoE. So that is my reaction. Looks really good. I'm going to link this in the description below if you want to watch. We literally only made it halfway through. But they're going to get into supporter packs now and different stuff like that. We have a great idea. We saw the trailer. We saw what the league is all about. We saw what they are doing to other end games. And it looks like a really fun league. But I want to know your opinion. I'm glad I waited to watch this with you. Is it Aaron, screw PoE, I'm waiting for the next thing? Or is it, hey, this is going to get me back in? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure you've heard by now that I have officially started a Twitch, streaming on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Having so much fun with the ARPG community, answering questions, playing with the community. Always a good time, and I give away a game every single stream. First link in the description below. If you haven't had a chance to join the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're now over 1,200 members, great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is also in the description. And by the way, every Saturday night is community night. I put up a poll on YouTube, a poll on Discord, and whatever game wins, we play as a community through my Discord that Saturday night. So join, again, just like Twitch, always a good time. All right, hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.